Guys,
Yes.
Cheers to finally getting to this point. We've got all the artwork up. We've come to decisions that we will reveal later on. And we are doing it in the most unusual way, and it's taken so long with lots of challenges. But cheers to everybody, because I'm proud of everybody who participated, and I appreciate all the help. So cheers. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. Thank you for the opportunity to do this again.
Look how big the glass looks when I put it up there, but it's actually a really tiny little glass.
Really? Oh, really?
It makes me feel like I'm drinking less.
Just have more of them. Guys,
Yes.
Hello, my name is Andrew Carter in Montreal, and thank you for joining us on Facebook this year for the 7th annual Brush Off. We are supporting art-based programs for people living with Alzheimer's. You know, art can do wonders, and it was when I started painting a little bit that it really helped me along. So I'm very proud to have been a judge on the Brush Off for the past 7 seasons, and we're very happy to have you joining us here. We're broadcasting from multiple locations today, but we're also showing you art from 2 real locations in Memphis, Tennessee, and in Niagara-on-the-Lake, Ontario, Canada. Normally, I would be hosting this myself, but I'm very happy to have an Emmy Award-winning broadcaster from Memphis, Tennessee, Mary Beth Connolly. She hosts a talk show in Memphis. It's called Mary Beth Live at 9. And it's time to hand you over to my co-host, Mary Beth.
Thanks so much, Andrew. Mary Beth Conley here from News Channel 3 Live at 9 in Memphis. We call it the Bluff City. And we now have, as of a couple of years, a Cutler Crane Art Gallery here in downtown Memphis. So we are so thrilled to be a part of, for the first time, to be a part of the Brush Off. This, of course, isn't the 7th annual, as you heard, but this is the first time Memphis gets to participate. So we have some local artists from right here in Memphis. We also have a lot of artists from Canada and from the US, and I'm just so excited to be a part of hosting this. Marina and I became friends a few years ago after meeting at a car show of all things. And I just fell in love with her personality and really largely with her mission. Alzheimer's. My dad died of Alzheimer's a number of years ago, and it is a devastating disease, as I know, Marina, you have experienced in your family as well. So how are you all the way up there in Alvento, Canada, across the border from Niagara, I believe, right?
Well, I'm great, Mary Beth, and thank you. And yes, I am at Alvento Winery in the Niagara region of Ontario. This beautiful winery that I'm surrounded by wonderful wines. So thank you, and thank you to Andrew, and thank you to everybody who is here on Facebook and watching us for this live sharing of artists that are part of the Brush Off finalists and viewing the artwork that they have and some of their videos and their messages. We started this Brush Off painting competition 10 years ago to share the message of how important it is for art-based programs for people who are living with Alzheimer's. Our goal is to raise funds and buy supplies and activities for people who are living with Alzheimer's now. We don't do research, we try to make their life better and enriched while they are here with us so that we can make every moment count for them and their loved ones. And I had a mom who was living through Alzheimer's when we started this, and I know exactly how it feels and what is important or what was important to her to help bring her alive and feel like she had quality of life. So we hope that you'll take a moment and look at the artwork, purchase the artwork, celebrate the artists with us, go visit the artists themselves, their websites, find out about them, but support the project in general by celebrating everybody involved, because it's such a good cause and we're so thrilled to have everybody here with us. And again, thank you to Danny from the Alvento Winery for having the work up here at Alvento. You can visit it if you're in the Niagara region. You can come to Alvento Wineries by appointment. And you can also visit the artwork that is at the Cutler Crane Gallery by appointment if you're in the Memphis area. So that'll be available until December 20th, and you can view it anytime you want on avenueart.ca. So back to you, Andrew.
Happy to have you here. We're going to take a look at some contemporary artwork and the artists, and we'll also show you how art can be therapeutic, and that's why we're here tonight. But why don't we start with introducing you to some of the finalists and taking a look at their art and their artistry.
One of the things that really kind of sparked my interest in being involved in this was that I have two very special people in my life that are suffering with Alzheimer's. And that's hard to say because I don't think it's just those two suffering. It's everyone in their life suffering from this horrible disease. It's not just that one person, but those who love them, who support them, who care for them. And we really need to do everything we can to bring about a way to find a cure, but also just make their day-to-day lives a little bit easier.
My work is essentially abstract, and I'm very much appealed by textures and how forms may evoke an idea, a feeling, a mood, or even a memory, as far as I'm concerned.
Hi, I'm Carol Loeb from Montreal, Canada. I'm honored to have two paintings in the show. As an artist, painting helps to keep me balanced, making my awareness of the connection between creating art and mental stability that much more acute, especially in these trying times. I paint landscapes, both rural and urban, as my two paintings in the show reflect. Lately, I have focused more on urban landscapes close to home, especially those that should be bustling with activity but are now quiet. Thanks for supporting this worthy cause.
I'm Carol McConnell, and I'm a professional artist, and my mother had Alzheimer's. She slowly slipped into her own world that didn't include me. In honor of her, I created these two paintings to help raise awareness for Alzheimer's. This is Silent Memories. The purple in this painting represents the person with Alzheimer's. The black shapes represent all of the loved ones touched by the loss, and the red represents the lifeline of the person. My mother lived for years and years with this disease.
Well, we've seen some amazing art and met some really interesting artists tonight, but let's talk about now why we're here and what this is all about. We're here to raise money for art-based programs for people living with Alzheimer's. Serge Gauthier is a leading expert in Alzheimer's research, and he explains what a difference art can make.
Art therapy could be used in someone with minimal symptoms as a way to perhaps rewire themselves and maybe delay progression. It also can be used for someone who has dementia at the point where they are about to lose control and they go to a nursing home. And another stage when you're in a severe stage of dementia and you need some kind of social interaction.
Thank you so much, Dr. Gauthier, both for giving us some time today and also for your work in art therapy. And obviously, art therapy can help patients and families, quite honestly. And so right now, we want to talk to Joni Jonkeman. She is an art therapist, and she has a very special project, which actually Brush Off, and your participation in the Brush Off, your purchase of these paintings and your presence here is going to help support their art boxes, and Joni can explain how they're working to help Alzheimer's patients.
Hi, this is Joni from Art for Alzheimer's Care, and I'm proud to support the Brush Off project. With the holiday season just around the corner, Now is a great time to do some art making with your loved one. Art making is a great tool for making positive connections with your loved one. Old photos are a wonderful resource and are perfect for encouraging trips down memory lane. You can use them in activities like the Snow Globe project. Simply cut and paste your photo onto the free Snow Globe template and decorate. Did you know that reminiscing is good for us? Our strongest positive memories are formed between ages 10 to 30, and recalling these memories can benefit our psychological well-being. Reminiscence can combat depression and promote overall good mental health. The activity of reminiscing together while being creative is a great way to make new memories and experiences together. Your loved one with dementia may not remember doing the activity, but they will remember the emotions and how being with you made them feel. For more art making ideas and projects like this one, visit Art for Alzheimer's Care on YouTube. Thank you for supporting the Brush Off project.
Thank you so much, Joni. Appreciate your work. And Marina is back with us. Hi, Marina. You are, as we mentioned, in a winery that plays into the prizes today.
That's right. Winery at El Vento Winery that is in the Niagara region, as you guys know. And we're exposing the artwork here, and we're doing it now at, late in the evening so we can do our live. And Danny Zhang, who owns the winery in the back, is working his butt off trying to get some shipments out. So, we do what we have to do. You can't see him, he's tucked away, he keeps hiding, but he's back there and he hasn't stopped. And so, it's a different world. We're dealing with shipping and packing and moving things online. And hopefully everybody who's going to be watching this online and Facebook Live, that you guys are all feeling the same that we are and are moved enough to be buying some artwork and appreciate what we've done after all this. So,
right. But, COVID does point up the incredible importance of art in our world, because it's been a gloomy year. I mean, let's face it, 2020 has not been a great year, and art can uplift. And the artists are scattered all over as well, both in Canada and in the US. And I think right now we want to show some more artwork, right? This is the next batch of finalists.
This is important for me because my mother was diagnosed with Alzheimer's just at the time that I started painting. So I feel it's really helped me get through all those years dealing with this horrible, horrible disease. So I paint a lot. I paint with oil and a spatula. I just put the paint on the canvas and see what happens.
The reason why I entered the brush off competition is that, like many people, I've lost a family member, my grandmother, to Alzheimer's. I'm a figurative oil painter, and my work primarily revolves around the subject of mindfulness, specifically in the context of the technosocial dilemma. As an artist, creating a painting allows me to engage and create a dialogue on the subject with the viewer. It's been shown that art projects can provide a person with dementia and their caregivers an opportunity for self-expression and to communicate. So I believe art is an important tool in the toolbox for families affected by Alzheimer's.
My father, over time, he had mini strokes, and those mini strokes caused him to have difficulty in retrieving words. Art offers an opportunity to connect at its deepest level without words. We can share our pathos, we can share our connected experience.
When I was thinking about Alzheimer's, I came to realize that I truly believe that long after the mind can no longer find the word for a sunrise, that the heart can still experience the joy of it. So to honor that belief, I've named my painting Morning Has Spoken.
What's up, y'all? My name is Jay Allen. I'm a country singer from Nashville, Tennessee, signed with Verge Records. I want to give a very special shout out today to my friends at the Brush Off Project. I think y'all are in for a treat with this event. I have firsthand experienced the power of music through writing a song for my mother called Blank Stares. My mom was only 54. She passed away last year from what's called early onset Alzheimer's. It absolutely crushed me. It was the saddest thing I've ever had to experience, but I'm grateful that we were able to find a way to turn around this awful experience and to do good in the world with it. That song has now went on to help raise over $35 million to help fight against Alzheimer's, and I experience the power of it every single day, and I think you're going to experience that same good and that same power today through the Brush Off Project. Y'all enjoy my song called Blank Stares. Thank you so much, and God bless.
Oh, Jay, I just was wondering what you're doing, and I want to ask her. And to stay happy.
There's a voicemail that I keep. I listen to it just to hear you speak. Hey son, turns to silence just like that. No, I love you, all goodbye. Like you saw the phone in your hand and you didn't know why. It's crazy how you come and go so fast. Oh, how do I get you back? If I could only see the cracks you're slipping through. Wish I didn't feel so helpless when it comes to helping you hold on. So I keep holding on to every little memory made of you and me, every little glimpse of who you used to be. I know you're still in there, deep down somewhere. I swear I still see you between the blank stares. It's the first thing that I think about when I wake up and when I lay down. It's the last thing I feel crawling through my mind. I'm still trying to understand it, sitting next to you, holding your hand and hoping you won't fade away this time. Just stay a little while, please stay a little while. If I could only see the cracks you're slipping through. Wish I didn't feel so helpless when it comes to helping you hold on. So I keep holding on to every little memory made of you and me, every little glimpse of who you used to be. I know you're still in there, deep down somewhere. I swear I still see you between the blank stares. It's getting harder and harder to watch you disappear. Oh, you're falling farther and farther and leaving me in tears. If I could only see the cracks you're slipping through. Wish I didn't feel so helpless when it comes to helping you hold on. But I keep holding on. Every little memory made of you and me, every little glimpse of who you used to be. I know you're still in there, deep down somewhere. I swear I still see you. Yeah, I still see you between the blank stares, between the blank stares.
You know, that's a really powerful message from Jay Allen. And anybody who's ever lived with somebody suffering from Alzheimer's knows that it's not always the person suffering from Alzheimer's who is doing the suffering, because to see somebody slip away like that, somebody who you've spent, many tender moments with over your life and many memorable moments, and to see that they don't know who you are anymore is just, it's heartbreaking. And it's why we're here tonight on the 7th annual Brush Off to try to raise a little bit of money for art-based programs that help people living with Alzheimer's. So we're really glad you could join us for the 7th annual Brush Off. Hope you've been enjoying this.
Wow, that was powerful. Thank you so much, Jay. And now let's take a look at the art from the final group of finalists in this year's Brush Off.
I create art about hope and about healing, and that's part of the reason I thought it would be perfect for the Cutler Crane Brush Off competition to participate in this. Is I know that many of you have loved ones that are experiencing Alzheimer's, and I know that that is a heavy burden to bear, and I truly believe that art is therapy, both for the viewer and the collector, and also for me as an artist. So, and in a way, I think that brings us together.
I'm Julie Harris. I'm an abstract painter based in Cincinnati, Ohio, and Delray Beach, Florida. My work's inspired by just music and emotion that I'm feeling, rarely planned, beginning with large random brushstrokes and markings that then guide me to the completion of the painting. I believe that art is something that fills our basic human needs and touches deeply our hearts and our souls.
Bonsoir, mon nom est Louis-Bernard Saint-Jean. Je suis un artiste peintre de Montréal, Québec, Canada. Voici mon atelier, l'espace 230 au Bingo. Et il me fait très grand plaisir de participer à la 7e édition de Brush Off Painting Competition. Et en fait, je vais présenter la toile 11 Points que vous voyez ici, une œuvre sur papier.
Art brings me personally so much comfort and passion. I think it's very important for a lot of people for various reasons, but I can imagine for those living with Alzheimer's it could provide a great deal of comfort and escape. This painting in particular I feel is very appropriate for the competition, as I see it as sort of an abstract landscape with a bit of chaos going on, but also a very comforting feeling from the light that I see coming through it.
Painting has been an important part of my life, and I believe I'm happiest when I am at the easel, even though sometimes it can be frustrating to resolve an abstract or a perspective on a more figurative painting. But it is an absolute privilege to be able to express oneself on canvas or on paper.
I'm very honored to be part of this 7th Brush Off competition. What I like about it and why it's so important to me is that the funds raised are used for art therapy workshops for patients. I simply hope that when they draw and paint with color, they at least get some measure of comfort and joy from it. As an artist, the way I paint is process-based, and what that simply means is that I'm not thinking about what I want to do, but I just let emotions fill me and I start painting using a process that is repeated time over time.
Of course, we're very glad that you could join us this year for the 7th annual Brush Off to support art-based programs that are helping Alzheimer's patients. And, you know, it's been a very special time during the pandemic, obviously, and it brings into focus even more acutely how much we need art, and it might be nice to enjoy a nice glass of wine as well. Art is passion, wine is passion, and that's why we have decided to pair up this year's finalists with wine. And it's not just any wine, it's very special wine from the Niagara region, from the Al Vento Winery. So here we are for the awards. The third prize, the John Malak Award,
is Carol McConnell from Cincinnati, Ohio, with her painting, Sacred Memories.
So we decided to pair it this year with the Chardonnay, a barrel-aged Chardonnay from 2018, the Al Vento Chardonnay.
I'm Carol McConnell, and I'm a professional artist. And my mother had Alzheimer's. She slowly slipped into her own world that didn't include me. In honor of her, I created these two paintings to help raise awareness for Alzheimer's and entered them into a competition called the Brush Off. The Brush Off Project is a national arts competition held in Memphis, Tennessee at the Avenue of Art Gallery to support the cure for Alzheimer's. This is Silent Memories. The purple in this painting represents the person with Alzheimer's. The black shapes represent all of the loved ones touched by the loss, and the red represents the lifeline of the person. My mother lived for years and years with this disease. This is Sacred Memories. In this painting, the orange represents all of the people who give of their time and money to cure this horrible disease and to support the Alzheimer's Association. For more information, please Google the Brush Off Project or follow them on Instagram at the Brush Off Competition.
Very pleased to announce it was very hard to decide, but the second place award, the May Cutler Award in the 7th Annual Brush Off, goes to Carol Loeb for Sentinel. Now, we loved the way this landscape looked to us, and we loved the light as well. So we decided to pair it this year with the Chardonnay, a barrel-aged Chardonnay from 2018, the Al Vento Chardonnay.
Hi, I'm Carol Loeb from Montreal, Canada. I'm honored to have two paintings in the show. As we all know, and speaking from personal experience with my own parents, music and the visual arts help to stimulate the minds of people with dementia, enriching their lives and helping them to recall memories and express themselves. I'm proud to have supported art therapy programs through the Brush Off over the last 6 years. It's been a pleasure to see it grow from local competition into the international project that it is today, and Marina should be very proud. As an artist, painting helps to keep me balanced, making my awareness of the connection between creating art and mental stability that much more acute, especially in these trying times. I paint landscapes, both rural and urban, as my two paintings in the show reflect. Lately, I have focused more on urban landscapes close to home, especially those that should be bustling with activity but are now quiet. Thanks for supporting this worthy cause.
And now it's time for first place, the 7th Annual Brush Off Award, and it goes to a Montreal artist named Chantal Aucoin, and the artwork is called Bystander, and because it is so special, we have decided to pair it with a 2018 Merlot Austero from Al Vento Wineries in the Niagara region.
Hello everyone, my name is Chantal Aucoin and I'm thrilled to have been selected as a finalist for the 7th Annual Brush Off Competition in support of Alzheimer's. The reason why I entered the Brush Off competition is that, like many people, I've lost a family member, my grandmother, to Alzheimer's. I'm a figurative oil painter and my work primarily revolves around the subject of mindfulness, specifically in the context of the technosocial dilemma. As an artist, creating a painting allows me to engage and create a dialogue on the subject with the viewer. It's been shown that art projects can provide a person with dementia and their caregivers an opportunity for self-expression and to communicate. So I believe art is an important tool in the toolbox for families affected by Alzheimer's. So I really feel that this is a worthwhile fundraiser to support. Thank you, Brush Off, for the opportunity.
So there you have it. Thank you so much again for joining us for the 7th Annual Brush Off Competition. I'm Mary Beth Conley from Memphis, Tennessee, and home of the Cutler Crane Gallery.
Well, thank you very much for joining us for the 7th annual Brush Off. We hope you learned a little bit about wine and art and Alzheimer's and art therapy and how it can help. If you want to learn more and about how you can buy some of this art, want to go to avenueart.ca or Mountain Lake Television's website at mlpbs.org. You can donate online or you can actually buy some of this art. Thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for supporting the cause of the Brush Off.
Andrew, thank you so much for your contribution every year, and we look forward to the next one that hopefully isn't a live via Zoom. Cheers.
Cheers.
To finally getting to this point, we've got all the artwork up. We've come to decisions that we will reveal later on, and we are doing it in the most unusual way, and it's taken so long with lots of challenges. But cheers to everybody, because I'm proud of everybody who participated, and I appreciate all the help. So cheers. Cheers. Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. So some of the challenges we were talking about were how difficult it is. I know we always do the first round of judging on the internet and that we see only what comes across the screen. But now here we are forced to actually do the first, second, and third prize and not be able to see anything in person. So I find that was like extremely challenging for me. I did eventually get the artwork, so I saw them in person, but I know you guys judging, it was really hard. I mean, what do you think about that, Dorota? How did you feel?
It's a nightmare, to be honest, because when you look at an artwork, you have to feel the artist. And if you're looking at it at a screen, you cannot feel the artist. You cannot see the brush strokes. You cannot feel the energy that it imbues the painting. You cannot see the format. You cannot see the texture. So you really have to rely, first of all, in my case, on experience of looking at art for so many years and something visceral that relates to the piece. And this is what I went on. And there were some works that actually completely instantly spoke to me, and others that caused me a lot of trouble because I thought they were good, but I could not see them in real life. So I could not decide on that. So I really had to go with that feeling of the sort of Malcolm Gladwell blink kind of theory, you know, this is good, you know, blink, I know this is good. And
that's amazing, yeah.
And I went over and over so many pieces, and I still ended up with the same selection. So there is something in art that speaks to us beyond its own physicality.
It really is experience that helps you do it, but then again, gut feeling. Andrew, what do you think about that?
Ultimately, if I might just end, you don't have to be an art critic to feel an artwork. Anybody can feel it.
I think it's really difficult to just seeing them online or in pictures to get perspective on simple things like how big they are. Yeah. I just use the very famous example of the Mona Lisa. When you go to the Louvre and you look at it, and you say, "Oh my God, it's so small." Yeah. You know, you've always thought it was this big, giant piece of work, but it's a tiny little thing. So, you know, to have to look at the sizes and see how big they are, and then to try to imagine what the texture is like is sometimes difficult. And honestly, a lot of times, to me, paintings look a lot better in pictures than they do in person.
Yeah. Benta, what are your thoughts on that?
Well, the fact is that we're not able to be with the artists themselves, because once they portray their energy standing beside their piece of artwork, it's quite incredible. You get kind of caught up in that energy, as you were saying, Dorota, about it sort of impacts you and it leaves you with some sort of emotion and feeling. And then you also see, Andrew, as you had mentioned before, the tactile feeling. Is it three-dimensional? I'm missing that 3D effect.
Mary, what are your thoughts?
I think this, I'm not sure if it's the year, but the artwork this year for me was very good. And, picking 5 out of, you couldn't go wrong.
Yeah,
Even if
right.
you could have picked 10 because they were so different. The quality of the work was close, wasn't it? They were very good. They were all very, very good works. So I think any one of them you could have chosen, because they were so different in styles and textures in the media that I found this year hard to choose, and yet maybe not so hard, because they were all so good.
Bill, one of the questions I'd like to hear your opinion, because how difficult is it to judge? We have no choice. It's COVID. We're COVID judging. But how difficult has this been? We're COVID judging.
Well, I mean, it's difficult in the sense that you can't touch, but then you can't touch it anyways when you're, and I think though, it's not as difficult as all that, because you're seeing it up very, very close and magnified in certain instances. So, I mean, I don't really find it that much. I mean, obviously you can't tell the master work of the actual strokes from a distance, as Dorota will certainly point out, but you can get an overall view. I mean,
this year is perhaps, I don't know if I'm right, I found all the works were extremely honest.
Yes.
They were pretentious. Nobody was trying to beat anybody. They all came from the heart.
You've done a good job, and I can't thank you guys enough, because it's always challenging. And this year is the biggest challenge. We don't get to have a glass of wine together. We don't get to sit at the table and banter, and you guys don't get to fight the same way you would. I mean, you have a couple of moments on screen together, but it's not quite the same as in person. And next year, when we do it again, and God willing, everybody is able to participate, we'll have a whole different reaction, and it'll be in person.